They say I make excuses, they say I crave attention. Here, just take these pills, that'll ease your apprehension. I'm gasping, I'm coughing, I'm frantic, I'm nauseous. Gasping, coughing, frantic, nauseous. I'm freaking, I'm nervous, I'm tweaking, uncertain. Freaking, tweaking, nervous, uncertain, anxious.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the initial episode, the maiden voyage, if you will, of the newly revamped Real Talk podcast. My name is Jordan Michael Colson, and I'm joined by three miraculous young ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be your conduit, your portal to understand the youth of today, which I know is ironic because I hate kids. Just kidding, but not really. No, but we are going. The purpose of this show, for those of you who don't know, is to bridge the gap between youth, I will say, because you're all younger than I am, and to try to have a better understanding of why young people do what they do, why they say what they say, why they act the way they act, and to give you guys an outlet to communicate with people and let them understand you better, and so you can understand each other better. Does that make sense?
Yes, you do.
All right, that's what we're doing. So before we get into today's topic, go around and introduce yourself and tell us something hilarious or awesome about you.
My name is Isaac. Hilarious.
Or entertaining, something interesting. You're wearing a JMC hoodie, you look great.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, but if we're saying hilarious, it's also kind of gross, but like once when I was 4, I really had to go to the bathroom, but I couldn't hold it in. I peed on the floor and blamed it on my dog.
Interesting choice and good start to the show.
Okay.
Classy.
All right. That's good. That's good. I can do that. I'm Devontae. If you heard me from a previous thingamajigger. Anyway, funny story with me is actually one my mom just brought up to me that I completely forgot. Was one day in elementary school we was playing Duck Duck Goose, and I got in trouble.
Duck Duck Deuce. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
did you go to the
I was
bathroom
like,
on the floor too?
No, but I got in trouble for it because, touching another kid in the head. Apparently that was bad, and I came home crying because I thought I was going to get in trouble. And my mom literally got mad at the school, and she went to the school about it. So, yeah.
Dang, is mine gonna be like the only weird one? Like the weird
I
one?
touched a kid in her head, and I got in trouble.
No,
I
that's...
cried about it.
I peed on the floor.
I cleaned it up for you.
I mean...
Okay.
I love you that much.
And last but not least, our female contribution to today's episode.
My name's Adriana, and
Who?
Adriana, and my story is pretty boring, but whenever I was like 2 or 3, my grandma, she has this fridge where like you press a button and water comes out, and I have an older sister, and I'm short, so I was standing underneath it, and my sister's pressing the button, and I'm just standing there getting soaked.
Yo.
You gotta tell us a story now.
My name is Jordan Michael Colson. I'll be hosting and producing the show. I'm pretty much the greatest human being ever born.
Tell 'em.
Yes, sir.
Period.
I'm a marketing director for 4 companies, professional SAG actor, and like I said, can't stand kids, especially teenagers.
Tell
Can't- So
He
annoying.
loves us.
I do love them. And of course, I'm the artistic director of Reach USA, and that's how I know these fine ladies and gentlemen here today. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, guys. We're going to remain cordial. If we disagree, we can argue, and we can debate civilly. We're going to try to keep the bathroom content to a minimum, but with Isaac
Okay.
here, you never know.
Okay, that was one time. I promise I'm not as weird as I...
Mind you, it's the first episode. He'll say this on the 10th episode. This is only the 2,000th time.
Yeah,
Okay, this is the only time it's gonna come up.
There you go.
You said a weird story,
I did.
and
yeah.
I said
Okay,
I
fair
gave
enough.
I gave you a weird story, and it's
I could give you a weirder one, but go ahead.
Let's
But-
carry on.
carrying on. What is your question?
So today's topic, we want to talk about social media. It's obviously very relevant, very pertinent in today's society. Let's not lie, we all spend hours a day on it. For me, it's for business, but I also just am on there anyway, just scrolling through mindlessly for hours at a time, sometimes doing nothing. So today we're going to talk about the positives and negatives, the pros and cons to social media in today's society. Why is it good? Why is it bad? Is it more good or more positive than it is negative? And to put that in perspective, I use social media to connect with people that I went to college with that I don't see anymore. I went to college at Towson in a different state, which is in Maryland, obviously. And so I use it for that, and I use it for business for every job that I have. Now, a lot of people, of course not me, they use it to prowl on old ex-girlfriends or boyfriends and slide in people's DMs that they shouldn't be doing and all things like that. So we'll start with Adriana, ladies first, and we'll work our way around. what are some of the positives first that you use social media for that you feel is positive?
Communication. That's like basically the only thing I really use it for, I guess.
Tell them.
Yeah, and putting out like good messages and positive vibes, you know.
So do you feel that you are, yeah, I understand that you do a lot of communicating on Facebook and other social media platforms. Do you feel that you are less effective communicating in person now because today's society is so much about communicating on social media and text messages and things like that?
I would have to agree with that. Social media makes it much easier because like you may be scared to say something in person or like too shy to, but you're able to over the internet.
And that can obviously work in a lot of negative ways too, which we'll get to. So Devontae, tell us some of the positives that you see in social media. I've noticed you post a lot of video content lately, new stuff coming up in the works. So promotion's one thing for you, but what else? What is positive in your point of view?
I think the biggest thing for me is sort of what Adriana said, communication, because I feel like, looking at where I am now in my life, I feel like there's been a transition where I'm not on as much really looking at anybody else. It's been more like, okay, who's the people that I don't see on a daily basis or even a monthly basis that I need to conversate with? Like, think about it. Like, I got a grandmother who now has Facebook, you know, and posting crazy stuff. But, like, if I can't see her or she doesn't make a reunion or something, that's something a good time I can reach out to her and talk to her. So that's my biggest thing. I feel like I just want to talk to more people that I'm not able to close enough, if that makes sense. Like, that's the main thing, I'd say.
Yeah, older folks are on social media too. Don't let them fool you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how it works, but
True.
they're on there though.
Look at their selfies. It explains it all.
They may not check a message for like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you're like, you can tell when they get on because they'll like 10 pictures in a row.
This is cat with hard eyes.
So Isaac, how about yourself? How do you view all social media platforms, not just Facebook, but that seems to be the one that we're talking about the most?
Mm-hmm.
How do you view them in a positive light?
I mean, if you look at like Instagram, Snapchat, there can be all sorts of things posted, but I tend to look at the more positive side and like see how people can show like kind of like problems that's going on in the world, or maybe like situations that aren't always going to be like the best, but people can, I don't know how to explain it, but like acknowledge them in a positive way.
Bring awareness to
Like,
current issues and problems that are going on in the world.
So like the Australian wildfires, people posted all about that to raise awareness. So like even if it is as simple as saying like, I made somebody's day by giving them blah blah blah, or like this, that, and third, it just makes that positivity could lead on to like more positive things on other people and could possibly make their day even better.
And a lot of people are using for things like that. They're raising money over social media platforms and creating awareness. Obviously, like the whole Me Too movement was a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's a negative situation in the first place, but the positivity that came out of that was creating awareness towards people who are being abused, which is, hopefully in a perfect world that would never happen, but making a positive out of a negative. So. Did you have another thought?
I was going to say there's never going to be a utopian world. Not everything's going to always
dream.
be. Yeah, not everything's always going to be perfect, but we can try our hardest to. There's always going to be certain problems. There's going to be times where we're not going to feel as comfortable in certain environments or situations, but we always have to make the best of them, and by the time we still have.
So, good thoughts. So let's talk a little bit about the negativity. I can think of several for myself, and it's kind of funny because it's easier. I can think of like 3 or 4 positive things. I can think of like 1,000 negative things, and that's kind of a crappy perspective. But like the one that comes to mind that I think you guys are gonna go into the more severe ones, but let's just talk about how much time we all waste.
Honestly.
I can honestly say that even when I don't intend to, I will sometimes look up and I'm like, I just spent an hour.
That's so true.
Scrolling through, and I find that when I'm actually introspective and I'm thinking about what I'm looking for, I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking for what else is on there.
On there, you're just like kind of questioning,
And you
what
could
do you
be-
post today? Just scrolling.
Yeah, and it's not even just social media. You can just be kind of like mindlessly calling somebody for hours on end. Like, I'm not saying that's necessarily bad. It's like a good way of communication, but like sometimes it's better to go into like the real world because we focus more on like electronics and electricity to give us entertainment and make us happy.
Well, it does make us attached to what
Yes.
we were talking about to Adriana earlier. So, in your opinion, Adriana, what's a negative component of social media?
The fact that people aren't afraid to say things, because that can cause a lot of like bullying and bad things to happen.
Or they can say things with no real repercussions, or no one's going to come through the key, no
Not
one's going to come
realize
through the
like
screen and
the
punch you.
consequences and yeah.
Have you had any, without naming any names or anything like that, have you had experience where you've either done that to someone or had it done to you, or both?
Had it done to me. Oh, yeah.
And then conversely, when you would see that person in person, was it like that conversation never took place?
Mm-hmm. That's how it always is. They don't expect you to really react to it.
And do you think that that's a generational thing? Like, do you think that's gotten worse? Like, with as the younger generation, you guys and younger have like gravitated towards social media.
Definitely.
And are you guys? Do you think that people who do that, it's really more about things they're not dealing with or that they don't like about themselves in their own lives, and they're just projecting that onto you? Or do you feel like the world is a more hateful place? Or what do you think is the catalyst for all that?
I think it's people like going through things and then they just project it on you, because like on Snapchat there's this thing called YOLO where you can like say stuff anonymously, and I get hateful things on that all the time, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I just think that's like people like projecting their anger onto other things than like focusing on what the problem actually is.
Devontae, what's a negative aspect of social media in your opinion?
A negative, I think pretty much kind of what you said, people take advantage of it, which you should do. So I'm kind of in a balance. I'm like, there's a lot of negatives and there's a little bit of positives, but I feel like with all the positives, if you really push those, it could be a lot better. So for me, I feel like if you take advantage of it in a good way, obviously good things can happen, but a lot of people use it in negative ways. Even if it's not targeted to someone specifically, just the way you say something, it can come off wrong, or how you post something that might not seem wrong to you at the moment, but after you reflect on it in some time, you can see things aren't coming across the way you thought they are.
That's also a problem with
Literally,
social media.
it's just sometimes it's like where your head is and you're not really fully thinking about what you're doing, because you're immediately, type, post. It only takes like a second to post it. But then after you think about it, it's going to take you a few minutes, and then it's going to take you the whole, where's the delete button? There you go. And there's already tons of people that have seen it already, and you already got your point across, even if you didn't mean it.
Have you guys ever had a conversation with someone where you took it in a negative connotation, but the person actually didn't mean it that
Do
way?
you mean like
or
over text or in person?
either one, because I mean, text is still a form of social media, more or less, because it's media and it's social, so the multimedia, whatever. So, or have you ever had somebody take your words and misconstrue what you actually meant?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what was the consequence of this, if there was any?
I'm not friends with the person anymore.
But was it all over a misunderstanding, or was it like really because of something? Because
I think it was just a misunderstanding.
So maybe you should say, hey, person or dude or lady,
Lady.
I didn't mean that, or you didn't mean that. Because I know for me, when I read a text message or when I read a instant message or whatever, a DM, I hear it in that person's voice, and I almost always, if we're like kind of disagreeing, I read it with like a negative tone. I know I do. Even if they didn't mean it like that, I just assume the
That's
worst.
so true.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know, like maybe it's not even like, I think that social media definitely makes us less prone to communicating in person, but it also makes like it's less effective communication, because you can say something in a sarcastic tone into someone's face and they know you're like, oh, you're being negative, but we have no idea
Yep.
the way that they're inferring these statements over a social media platform.
Unless you use like a voice message or something, but that's
Or you
not-
literally say, in parentheses, sarcasm.
Right.
Yeah, so Isaac, what's something negative about social media in your opinion?
I gotta say it's like stereotyping people and like just being anonymous, like kind of what Adriana said. You could, like, there's now apps where you could ask questions and people can answer them anonymously. They can say whatever they want and nobody will know it's them, and sometimes people will take advantage of that, and they could feel more, it makes them feel good about themselves. It makes them feel that they have power over somebody, even though they don't. They just use it to, and sometimes it might just be because they don't have the best home life. Like, you never know what situations like that like start off with. It can just be like maybe just like a little argument they got in, and if they just wanted to take that anger out on somebody else. But like, and like racism, people could say whatever they want. I saw a post not too long ago of a guy saying that he thinks that Black History Month is bad, and that he kept saying all these extremely racist slurs, and it was horrible. It just disgusted
Can
me.
I add on to that?
Feel
For
free.
like, even for the YOLO thing on my Snapchat, I've had people say like, you don't deserve to go to, because the school I go to is like, they have money, and people are like, you don't deserve to go to that school because you're like ghetto and stuff, or like, I've had people say, go back to Africa, and like crap like that, so.
And like I said, people try to use that power, and sometimes they might just say it as a joke, but if they don't know who says it, they might take it seriously, and there's been situations before, and because this is the real world, things like this actually happen. People could take something too seriously, and it could end up leading to more serious problems if they don't get the help they need.
Like them ending their life.
Yeah,
Or them taking that anger out on somebody or a group of people. I could go on and on about this. It's just like stuff.
It can always evolve.
Information is so much more accessible now, and like we said, when you said creating awareness about like positive causes, like raising money for the relief for the Australian wildfires, that's great. But that transfer of information, that accessibility to information, that also works the opposite way, because it's a lot easier to spread your message of hate, to spread negativity. You don't have to be accountable for what you say. I know I don't use Twitter anymore. I have an account, but like I watch a lot of like these crazy serial killer documentaries, and there's lawyers and like experts in the field who talk about why a certain case, why a person is probably innocent or guilty. And then people who just want to be hateful and get attention will put a negative comment on this person's Twitter feed. And now myself, when I go on to read this expert opinion, this moron has 140 characters to say what he or she thinks. And to people who are just casually observing and not really putting too much thought into it, that person's comment is now linked in with this expert. And if you're just a casual observer scrolling through, that person's opinion is no more or less valid in that microcosm of an example. Because they see this and they're like, oh, well, now I'm considering both point of view. Whereas someone who's been to school for, 12 years to get a degree in the law and has studied the law their entire life, now is having an argument with this person who just wants to get attention. And that's kind of a rare example, but it's like everybody has an opinion. And the greatest thing about social media is that everyone has an opinion and gets to share it with the world. And the worst thing about it is that everyone has an opinion and gets to share it with the world. So they both kind of work both ways. So, Adrian, in your opinion, is social media a positive or negative overall? Is it more positive or more negative in your opinion?
I think that's a hard one. I'm gonna have to go with negative, because I can think of more negative things than I can positive.
Well, I have to get out of here, so thank you for having me. Just wanted to let you guys know. Positivity, spread awareness.
Good to know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye, Isaac.
I'll see you
I
guys.
see you, buddy.
Isaac's a very busy man, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So take that for your question again. First of all, what's your favorite social media app, or the one that you use the most? And do you think social media overall is a positive experience or a negative experience in our society today?
Well, I think, would you consider video chat like a form of like social media? Because I do that like all the time.
Are you on
so.
Skype?
Usually it's just like Messenger video chat.
Oh, then definitely, yeah. Any way that you can be
Or would you
social
consider
through media.
YouTube?
Absolutely, yes.
YouTube
100%.
and Messenger are the ones I use the most, because like I have a YouTube channel, or like I video chat people, so.
All of that is a form of media.
And then what was the other part of the question?
What app do you use the most, and do you think it's positive or negative overall?
For those apps in specific, or
Just for overall?
Overall, I'd probably say it's more negative, because like, I don't know, the only positive thing I could think of is like communicating and like posting out your ideas and thoughts, but then you have all these other problems that people ourselves, we create.
Yeah. Devontae, what app are you on the most?
It's kind of bad because I feel like if you're on one, you can still be on the other. Like I catch myself on my phone on like Snapchat, but then on my TV will be YouTube, you know? Because my entertainment at this point is YouTube. I don't watch much TV unless it's like a sports game or like The Walking Dead. But Snapchat's usually my ideal because I snap most of my friends. But then like it just depends who you're talking to. Because family members are more likely to be on Facebook, and that's what I'm doing on my postings. Messenger, obviously, just contacting them, and then YouTube what I watch. But Snapchat's usually my main. That's like my home. And even then, I'm only talking to a few people, but that's like I talk to them every day.
So what about Snapchat makes you gravitate towards that?
And it's weird. It's a very interesting question because I don't even like show my face most of the time. It's like usually like my eyeball or something. I don't know. I guess the fact of me, this is gonna kind of sound corny. I guess me seeing the people makes me feel closer to them, even though I'm not. So, and I'm just like I don't know how you explain it. I'm just like that type of person. I like to be kind of closer when I feel like either when you're separated from everyone or if you're alone. That's a good way to kind of interact. So I guess video chatting is you would think is the next thing. But if you just want to talk to somebody and not really kind of have a whole conversation, you can just snap them, and you know you can see them and what they're up to, and just kind of keep the conversation going over there. Or you can just clown around, send silly pictures, and you know.
I don't really like Snapchat because like so many people use it. So I feel like when I'm using Snapchat, then my phone blows up, and I'm just like, give me a break.
See, I have small circles, so like, not throwing shade, but like 4 people probably reach out. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
well, like I got
So
streaks and stuff, and then I could be having a conversation with like 5 different people at once, and I'm just like,
No shade,
I can't keep
but
up.
I start deleting people where I'll block them if they keep sending me stuff that I don't need.
I did that to this one kid the other day.
Yeah, so. I don't know, but-
Because he kept spamming me, and I'm just like, bro, shut up.
Yeah.
I feel like in all honesty, Snapchat like really blew up because a lot of the filters like make you look more attractive than you are.
Thanks, no shade.
You are, wow.
I'm just saying, hey, look, my eyeball be
Not
looking
you
good.
personally,
I was
just
about to say,
everybody.
'cause you know, fabulous over saying nah, but I just be saying my eyeball, so it's okay. If you hating on my eyeball,
Your
you got
eyeball.
some issues. That's all it do is just my eyeball.
But I mean, like I feel like all the apps just copy off each other too. 'Cause,
They really
like,
do.
I mean, and Snap had the stories first, as far as I know. I
And
don't
And
know.
then Instagram had that IGTV and all that other
And
stuff.
Messenger has like filters now that are not
Yeah.
all that good, but still it's
Yeah.
something.
But some people look nothing like their filtered pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Shout.
So I mean,
Let's not
we all use at least
Like
one.
filters be giving you like that clear skin. Then you see someone
Yeah.
in real life, you're like,
Hey, don't be
that's
hating.
what you look
Don't
like?
be looking at me now.
I've seen people that I didn't even recognize that I'm Facebook friends with that I didn't even know it was them, and they usually have their default picture as like one of their Snap pictures that they screenshotted probably.
I can't do that now. If it's a snap picture where it's like a filter on your face, I don't know about all that.
If I can't even decipher who you are as a human being, you
That ain't
probably
right.
yeah,
There's
no.
a problem.
Yeah, I agree. So, do you guys think, Devontae, I don't know if you answered, do you think that it's overall a negative or positive experience? And if we all agree that it's negative, or like you said, and you think so
bit of
too,
both.
Yeah.
then why are we continuing to do it?
I'm stuck in the middle because
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a transition where I actually don't use social media as much. Like, I'll make videos, I'll post them. I do a lot of sharing, advertising, and I talk to people. But other than that, I'm done kind of just scrolling through other people's stuff because I'm so focused on what I'm doing and, like, moving forward. So, like, not to throw shade, but I'm just, like, I'm not interested in what other people's
Who you
doing
throwing
unless
shade at?
it's...
I don't scroll through. I literally don't scroll
Yeah, you
through
know what I mean?
stuff.
It's like...
I just message people. That's the only thing I
if
really
it's
use
something
it for.
You don't look at other
creative,
people's
I'll
stories
do
or
it.
anything?
No.
Only
Alright.
people that I'm talking to, like her, like if I'm talking, obviously us.
If I'm
People that
messaging
I'm
a
close
friend,
to, yeah, I'll look at their story, and it happens where you send somebody a Snapchat, and then you can see they have a story. Like, oh, I wonder what they posted.
Yeah.
Even though you could just be saying hi or like good night or street, you're like, oh, you gonna post now?
But other than
Yeah.
that, like just scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, no.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't.
really
I
interested.
don't really care.
Well, I think that a lot of people, and I'm sure you guys have both done that, maybe you
Yes.
don't do it anymore, maybe you're
Mhm.
over it or past it. And I think one thing that we haven't touched on yet that is really dangerous about that is, first of all, we all are mature and intelligent enough to know people 99% of the time only post like a highlight reel of their life. Like they're not going to post the negatives, the failures. Some people do, but not very often. And we have a tendency in society to compare ourselves to other people, whether we want to or not. And we're like, oh, so-and-so has this, or
Yeah.
so-and-so's wearing this. So-and-so
They got money.
is
they
skinny,
got a
so and
nice
so
house.
is bigger than me. Like, and yeah, they got money. So I think that's a massive danger that comes with
Yes.
being on too much and because most of those people probably have the same frailties and insecurities that we all have. I think we all know that. So it's amazing to me that we all kind of agree that it's overall almost negative or neutral, and we still spend time on it.
A lot of time.
So real quick type of answers, lightning round, so to speak. On social media, Adriana first. Is
Okay.
it okay or not okay to maintain a friendship on social media with an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend?
I think it's okay too.
Oh shoot.
Wait. Oh, well, I have before. It depends if you guys have like a bad history. Like if it's a
Yeah.
really like toxic relationship, then no,
Yeah.
cut them off. But if it's like neutral when you guys broke up, then no. I mean, yeah, it's okay to be friends.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll say I wouldn't maybe take the space first, kind of even if you're not like friends, just like take the space, work on yourself, and then if you feel like you guys can work on a friendship afterwards, good for you. But if you feel like it's best you're separate, then don't do it.
Okay. Is it okay to maintain that friendship when you get into a new relationship?
Go ahead.
I think that's solely up to your partner. If they're okay with it and if they trust you, good for you. If not, like me, I'll okay, I respect your choice and I won't have that connection.
That's literally what I was gonna say.
So you don't think, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, I'm not saying you're right or wrong. So you don't think that, well, because in today's society, more fights happen over social media than any other reason almost. At least in like relationships with people your age. When it's my age, it's like money and other junk and that. But like, so is it okay for that person that you're in a relationship with now to put that kind of control over you or have that stipulation? Like, isn't that kind of controlling and insecure on that?
I feel like that if they're gonna control that, they should have at least a decent reason. Like if you're not gonna trust me to talk to my ex, at least like give me a reason. Don't just flat out say like no.
Okay.
Cause like I'm still close to my ex. He's like my best friend. Okay. But if like let's say like your ex was trying to flirt with you while you have a boyfriend, okay, then that's
Yeah,
reasonable.
that's
But
okay. Yeah, I agree. I feel like I had it in my head, but you were talking. Dang it. I feel like. Ask the question again, please.
Well, I said, isn't it kind of controlling on the other person's
okay.
part if they put that
Yeah.
stipulation on your relationship?
No, I feel like if there should be a respect between the two. If you're in a relationship, obviously there's a respect. And if you're arguing with her because she doesn't like that, you should at least hear her out. And if she has no reason, then you should explain to her why.
Her or him?
Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm speaking as myself. But
Yeah.
yeah, literally, you should be able to explain why or why not. And if there is no valid reason, or if you're not even talking to her, then it should be simply, okay, I don't really need her on my social media. I'm not talking to her, and if you are talking to her, what are you talking about, and why is it
discuss
necessary?
those things.
Exactly. That stuff should be able to be talked about because that is an ex situation. Even though it might be in the past,
Trust.
it's still there. And regardless if there's a trust or not, I'm saying, there should be able to talk about that,
Okay. Remember, lightning round here. If you're in a relationship, let's just say, for the sake of this example, you're in a relationship, Adriana,
Okay.
and your boyfriend loves, not likes, loves another girl's picture of her trying to look cute. Okay or not okay?
Not okay.
Why not?
Like if he's just liking the picture, okay, whatever. Or like,
But
but
he
if he's like
loves
in
it.
love with it, no, don't
Family
talk to her.
members?
I'm probably gonna get jealous. If it's a family member, okay, whatever. If it's like actually another girl trying to be like cutesy and stuff, or like she looking thick, no, don't talk to her.
See, all right now. This might sound bad.
Okay.
I have really close friends that are females, and it's where I feel like if I'm getting into a relationship, I'm gonna be completely honest. I have a lot of friends, and you can't come between those. Like we're not family, but we're that close. I might heart your stuff, and I'll say, okay, I know she's from dance, or I might have friends that I train with. And then we might have that brother and sister type relationship. If you have those relationships, I think it's okay. Now, if it's just a girl you went to high school with, and you see her post, and you think she's cute, and you heart it,
But let's say you're
pushing-
dating a girl and the guy's like shirtless or posing like sexy
Okay.
and she's in love with that
See,
picture.
Well, how do you know she's in love with it? Because I
If
tend
she's
to
like,
heart.
ooh.
Look, I'll heart somebody's picture when I don't even like it. It's just
Not
because I
like
like
just
them.
like hearting it, but
You know what
just
I mean?
like
Like I've done that before.
actually being like, ooh, that's decent,
Nah, I can't be
actually,
doing.
like,
I don't be doing
that.
all that, and she definitely better not be doing all that.
Exactly, they better
Like-
not be.
Like
Well,
that's extra.
that's okay. So that leads into my next question. And by the way, whenever Facebook decided to make the love and the wow face, I was like, this is just a whole mess of
I
problems.
have a good question for you after all
Okay,
that.
all right.
Continue.
So last question, and then we'll wrap it up. Is it okay? Is it okay when you're in a relationship, or even in general, to post a picture, a provocative looking picture? And if so, like when you guys are high school age or a little above, let's just say young adults.
Like, give an example.
When you see a girl in a bikini picture or a guy with a shirtless picture, like right after the gym or something, like, what's your initial thought?
I think that's fine. Like a bikini picture, okay, whatever, you're at the beach, you're doing something, swimming, or like a guy shirtless after the gym, okay, that's reasonable.
My question is always like, who is that for? Like, what are you trying to promote?
Exactly.
That's true. I'm thinking, I'm like, who are you showing off for?
And like,
Who are you showing off for?
Yeah.
I think there's a difference from just posting a picture that's just, you know, you in that environment enjoying yourself, than you trying to show off a specific body part. You know, if you're in a gym flow and you're like kind of like posing and you're like, okay, I understand. But if you have full on like it's a straight type booty pic type of thing that you're sending, like you can tell the camera is focusing on that joint down there. That's not okay.
So if you're in the fitness industry or you're a model or you're trying to promote something and you're getting paid and they say like, look, tastefully now, we're not talking about stuff that's way over the top. Is that different?
I think for me, I would have to respect whoever the relationship I'm in. I'm like, okay, that's your job. I understand that, you know. But now if there's certain comments and you're starting to like these people's comments and it gets a little uncomfortable and there's like some blur, there's certain areas where I'm not going to be okay with.
Yeah.
But I will respect what you're doing. But the moment I feel like it's crossing the boundaries, I'm going to at least talk to you about it.
Because you and your girlfriend do workout stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if it's a together thing, that's even better for me. I feel like if we're together, okay. If you're by yourself, okay, there's just a little, there's like a step more you can do. And if you cross that, then yeah, I think there's some conversation that's needed done.
Or like check with them first.
Yeah, like do you think this picture's okay, or I'll take one that's I like that too.
All right, I got one more question. Somebody flirts with your significant other over social media. Are you confronting the person you're in a relationship with first, or the other person?
The other person.
Why?
Because they're the one who did it, who started it.
What if your significant other engages in this?
Okay, then I'm gonna do the person who started it first, and then I'm gonna come at them, be like, what are you doing?
But you're in a relationship with that person, not the person who started it. So that person doesn't owe you anything, do they? Or maybe they owe you the common
I'll just
respect.
tell them to back off.
Okay.
See, you're too nice. I am at the point in my life.
I don't think anyone's ever said that about Adriana.
If you are too nice, because like, if you're okay, it will happen no matter where you go. Either people are gonna be negative or positive about you. They're gonna flirt or just talk bad. If someone's flirting with you and you're in a relationship and you edge it on or not even cut it off because you're in a relationship, if you say thank you and leave it at that, okay.
That's what I
If
do.
you're like sending emojis and you're like bet or thank, there's a different level.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it like this: if it's too much, I'm over it. Bye. Now, if it's just like a little, like kind of there, but not really, I'm like, look, I don't like this.
Knock it
I'm
off.
gonna explain to you. But if it gets a little bit more, if this even happens again, like I ain't having it. You got to go. Now the person, I'm kind of petty. Like actually, just yesterday,
Yes.
some guy. This is gonna sound bad. Some guy randomly Snapchat. I called her my sis. Like, hey, I'm gonna get some money for you. Snap me a little something. And I'm kind of bad because I took the phone and I snapped him a selfie like, oh, what's up?
Bro,
it wasn't like
you
any
did that for me that one day.
It wasn't aggressive. It's just like, dude.
This one day, this guy was messaging me and he wanted like a picture of me, and I was like, I have a man. He's like, I don't care, send me a picture. So he picked up my phone and sent him a picture of himself.
Yeah. I'm evil. It's bad because like I be thinking dark. I'm like, what type of picture should I? It's like nah, but no, I literally just Snapchat him like, you funny, and then I left it at that. And it's like no. Yeah, like I said, there's a point that you cross, and if you cross that point, I'm not having that. At this point, life is too short. I'm not going to sit here and stick around if you're going to easily just, enjoy that moment and sunbathe and whoever's flirting. Like, at the end of the day, you should only need me to do that to feel good about yourself, or you should be feeling good about yourself, period. You don't need somebody to comment that's not even, like, what's the word, relevant.
That's what's so important to remember with all this. Like, and look, none of us are psychiatrists. We're not experts in anything, but I think we can all agree, like, to everyone listening and has an opinion, we all know social media is not real life, and your worth should not be assessed on what other people on social media think of you or say to you or don't say to you. So please find something within yourself to validate yourself. You are worth more than enough.
Yeah.
Just being who you are, and social media should be used for fun and to communicate and to promote whatever positivity, hopefully. But do not rely on it to fill a void of happiness in your life. Did you have something else you wanted to add?
Yes, I have a question for both of you guys, and then I want to answer it as well because it came
Okay.
up in my head. You know how you can post pictures and then you have the likes, the hearts, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Do you think if they took that away, it would be better, and why?
I don't think it would be a better social media experience as far as like interactive and fun potentially. I know they did toy with the idea of adding a dislike button, but that would never work.
Exactly.
And I think on your profile you can hide who liked your picture, so it's not public. I honestly think that this is crazy, but it's more important to people that they like. I think if someone was like, hey, I like what you did, I think that's great, but I think people would rather have people see like the number of likes that they
Really?
get.
Yeah.
Because like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
this picture got so many likes, and
crazy.
And then they're gonna feel like they need to like it too or something.
yeah, and like
that.
we, from a business perspective, every company I work for, they're like, oh, this picture's, I could post the greatest graphic or picture, and it may get 100 likes, and they're like, oh, that's good. I may post something stupid or that's not like framed properly that gets 200 likes, and most of the people are like, oh, that picture is more effective or better because it got this many likes, and it's all about perception. And I think in society and in life, we obviously all want acceptance and validation. So I think mentally that it would probably be better if that just wasn't a factor. But I think that that does add to the experience for people.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you say that because I'm the opposite end. I find myself wanting to post, like I look at my Instagram as either my life or just like kind of my highlights, like you said people do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times where I want to post stuff, but it's not something that'll catch everyone's eye.
Yeah.
It's just something that I would like to show, but I don't do it strictly because I'm like, well, I don't think somebody's gonna like this.
That's
Which
what I'd
sucks.
be doing.
So in my head, I feel like if I wipe that out, and IG could just be, or even Facebook, those can just be things that you share with people, and they can comment if they want. That's on them. I don't care about what people like or dislike about me. If you're gonna comment, you're gonna take the extra time to type. So if you type something negative, well, that's on you wasting your time. Type
Yeah.
something good.
They care enough about you that
Exactly. So I feel good that you say something good.
Yeah.
So I personally would rather the no liking situation crap because it causes more issues and I think it helps. Like, yes, you're right. I think it helps build people mentally and stuff. But
what can be destructive too.
exactly.
For the
So
same
I
reason.
think that's why there's like that balance. And I'd rather take the chance of it. You know what I mean? I'd rather take it away where you can be more productive as in like, okay, share what I want, people can comment, or like you said, business, okay, we can agree to what pictures we want to post, sort of like we do here with the clothing and everything, and then you can share what you feel is the most productive and showing and do what you want to be done with the business.
Well, that's why stories are interesting because people have to type to you directly and only you
Exactly.
when they like it or they say
Exactly
they
why I like
say something.
Snapchat.
Yeah,
That's
so
a big reason why I like Snapchat.
and Adrian, what do you think about Devontae's question?
I'm like stuck in between because you made some good points, but then I feel like if we took away the likes, then people wouldn't want to use social media as much, which I mean could be a good thing, but like I don't know.
So do you feel, all right, question for you then, so do you feel like you use social media to get likes from people when you post stuff?
I mean, yeah, I've taken down stuff that didn't get as many likes.
So why do you need those likes?
Confidence booster.
Okay, now if somebody was to comment on there something positive, would that feel better? Do you feel?
Yeah.
So do you think comments are more positive than likes?
Yeah.
So what if you got one really positive comment but like 3 likes, and then you had another post that got no comments but like 80 likes? Would you like the?
I'd
you
keep
comment?
them both probably.
Comments, I feel like comments go farther than likes. Yes, you can get a bunch of likes, but when we just scroll through Instagram, sometimes you just like stuff because you're just like, oh, that's okay, that's
Yep.
okay. You know, it just happens. You're like, oh, they're just
Some
doing it to do
posts,
it.
some posts and YouTube videos I go to just for comments.
Exactly.
So,
Like
Yeah, 'cause
I,
you know the
I want to
comments are
catch
gonna be
people
funny or something.
scrolling and stopping and going back up to look at your stuff, and then if they like it, they'll comment something.
Yeah.
Or like when people text you and they say like a long paragraph, you like those more than a short like I'm here for you, I miss you, blah blah
Oh,
blah.
I hate you. If
Are
I
you
get a,
coming at me? I send you those all
No,
the
no, no,
time.
no. But you do it. often that I know that you actually care and you're there for me. Now, if it's
Yeah.
somebody that randomly
You
messages
guys have an
me-
actual relationship in real life,
Exactly.
which is way more important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, and then also voice messages, like even it's really raw and you can hear the breathing and stuff. Like I don't know, something about voice messages as well is like it's really off the dome. You're not thinking, you're just like talking. And,
Yeah.
like, being straightforward with everything. So like
Yep.
that type of stuff is why I'd rather have that type more of environment. Because I think if we came up that way. And they added likes, I think we'll be in the same situation where like, oh, do we want the likes or should we keep it this way? So I think it's just kind of like catch 50, it's just like, oh.
But you can now like individual like messages from people in your.
Yeah, exactly. You can even like
Yeah.
their messages. Like,
I didn't even know you could do that for a while, and I was like, what?
could you
I
imagine?
think it's kind of dumb.
So like, what if somebody texts you, I love you, but you don't like it? So what? You don't like someone saying I love you?
I don't really find that a big deal.
I know, I'm just saying, I just catch it funny. Like, what if your mom texts you I love you, and you're like, okay.
It's funny because a lot of times we almost want the likes on our public posts more from people we don't really even know.
Exactly.
From the people like okay, someone I already like talk to every day liked it.
It's your friend, yeah.
So you're so right. Or like, if you like post something strictly so you want somebody to see, and then you see they see it and they like it, you're like, oh, she liking my post now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or like, but also sometimes we get more support from people who don't know us that well.
Exactly.
Because a lot of
That's
times in
powerful.
life, unfortunately, people who are close to us that came up with us, they want us to be successful and they root for us, but not more successful than they are.
Exactly.
So it really does work both ways.
So true.
So it's an interesting topic. Thank you guys for being here. Next week on the show, we're going to talk about whether celebrities have an obligation to be a role model in society.
Ooh.
And any topics that you guys want to see addressed on the show, or any questions you have for Devontae or Adriana, or Isaac, who's not here, where can people find you guys on social media since we're talking about it?
ahead.
Okay, you won't catch me at on Instagram, Marquise_PD. Again, MARQUISE_PD. And then Facebook is just my name. Snapchat, I'm not gonna give y'all that. Y'all don't need that one. And then Instagram. I already said that. YouTube would be Mocha Vibes or just my name as well.
And for me, you can find me on my Instagram, which is It's Just Dree, ITZ Just Dree, DRI. And then for my YouTube, it's just Adriana, ADRIANNA, wearing WARING. Go subscribe.
Oh shoot.
Thank you both.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yes sir.
I'm anxious. I think I'm freaking out. I'm anxious. I'm anxious. Yeah, I think I'm freaking out. I can't tie my shoes. Wait, I can't reach my shoes. I should take a walk. What is going on? I should start again.